Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech. So we had a little bit of a rough go of it in that last Flashpoint. Things did not go quite the way I would have liked. But we came out of it mostly intact. Ricochet's torso is probably almost entirely still present. We lost a Griffin, but it turns out I did not need to worry about not having another one of those. In fact, we had another one sitting completely unequipped in the bay. So we're still good on a Griffin chassis for our medium chassis completion. So, at this point, all that's left is to finish off the contracts on the system and then figure out where to go next. Now, what do we actually have here? We have a 3-skull battle. Pirate leader has fallen behind on payments for their armored vehicles. Okay, so we're going to have to fight heavy vehicles here. This one could be dangerous. An assassination mission at 3.5 skulls, which could give us some real loot. We could get an actual good mech off of this. And then a 4-skull battle and a different 4-skull battle. An awful lot of money and reputation on the line here. Why don't we start with the easiest one? Or at least the one that is projected to be the easiest, in the hopes of getting through it without taking damage and being able to roll right into another one. If we're going to go after a 3-skull difficulty armored vehicle battle, I definitely do want to bring the best mechs that we have available, so... We could run our normal squad if we just wait one day for repairs on the Grasshopper. I think that's worth doing. Alright. How are we doing on pilots? So we still have plenty of people active. It strikes me, just pilot XP is worth points. For every 100 points of experience earned by a pilot currently in your barracks, you get 2 points. We probably ought to completely fill the barracks. For a while, that was not a thing that was really worth doing, because we were pretty tight on money anyway. But we have a pretty good training pod running people up to 20,000 XP at this point for just sitting in the barracks for long enough. We probably ought to actually fill up. We'll worry about it after the mission, though. We only gain XP when time passes, right? Alright. Commander, they also mentioned that the target vehicles are currently on deployment with a secondary lance of mechs. You can optionally destroy them as well, and there's a bonus. I suspect that we're not going to see a ton of stuff that we want at 3 skulls, so we probably want to take this pretty money heavy. And then the percentage pay bonus that we get for destroying the secondary lance of mechs will be a little bit more significant. We also, I guess, could just take a lot of it as rep. We get up to 15 rep on this. Where are we at with the Free Worlds League right now? 47. We probably can't get to 100 on this world unless we take no pay and no salvage on all of these jobs, which we're not willing to do. So I guess I'm not going to stress about it too much. We'll just accumulate rep normally and we'll see what comes. The real question here is, do I want a piece of priority salvage? Versus like 225,000 C-bills. And again, expect a percentage modifier on top of that, right? Let's take one piece of priority salvage in case there's like a really good weapon drop or something. And then we'll bring the Grasshopper. This is the normal one, right? Yeah. Grasshopper and the... yeah, we can roll with the Jägermech. This is an old lineup, but it's a good one. We could bring the Battlemaster. I haven't really had time to play with this thing yet, and I do think its complement of equipment is a little awkward, plus I like the indirect fire. Yeah, let's do it like this. Now, we probably could afford to bring some less experienced pilots here, especially since the value of Tactics 9 is a little bit lower against vehicles because something weird is going on with vehicles and they don't get aimed at correctly. So, if we were to bring the weaker pilots, it would be Razor, and Coyote, the new guy, and then, like, Rocket and Sand Cricket. They both have sensor lock, as does Razor. Does it matter much? I guess the Cyclops is more likely to actually take fire, so the Bulwark's a little bit better there. Yeah, this isn't bad. Get to move our Jägermech on 4, which is pretty cool. Do I want you on the Grasshopper? Maybe we swap these two? Now, having the person who's good at aiming drive the mech that has the AC-20 is probably the right play. Alright, let's accumulate some points here. So, I was thinking about scoring a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how it works with things like pilot experience. It says for every 100 points of XP earned. So technically, if it actually means exactly what that says, then the best way to game score with our pilots would be to make sure that we always have a bunch of people in our roster who are low level, who are constantly gaining XP from the training pods. And when they hit 20,000 XP, fire them and hire on somebody new who is way below 20. But it also might mean for every 100 points of XP that is racked up on a pilot that's in your barracks, right? Like, it might be the case that firing a pilot would reduce our score by reducing the amount of XP that our barracks full of dudes has earned. So I'll have to see if I can figure out exactly how that works, so that we know how to game it appropriately. Alright, keep an eye out for enemy mechs. Blow stuff up. I'm real good at blow stuff up. Blow stuff up is my favorite part of the game.
Confirmed.
On the move. Confirmed.
Time to earn our money.
Alright, 80, 60, and 80. Yep, no big surprises there.
Location confirmed.
Hopefully we can get through these vehicles quickly before the enemy mech reinforcements show up.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
Okay, well, I'm not exactly terrified of a thing that only weighs 20 tons. I don't think we want Sand Cricket to go first. I think we want Razor to go first.
Ready for orders.
Can Razor get close enough to actually see any of the enemies? No. So we want Razor to run up and do a sensor lock to give the Jägermech something to shoot at.
On my way.
It looks like we're pretty far off of being available as a target to any of these things in direct fire mode. We have no idea if one of them might be an LRM carrier, though. Let's see what this is. Okay, Demolisher.
Standing by.
Well, that makes this decision pretty straightforward.
What's up, boss?
Nowhere to get direct fire on it because of the hill. Yeah, I'm comfortable just standing right here and dropping the LRMs.
Target acquired.
Gonna take more than this to get through it, probably. Honestly, that wasn't even really that much damage.
Ready for orders.
Yeah, these things are problems.
Acknowledged.
Well, we'll give it these LRMs too. What is this? 80 plus 60. This is only 140 damage, so we could try to aim and maybe direct it through, except that aiming at vehicles seems to be having some weird effects right now. Let's just do this the slow way, I guess. Alright, it mostly went to the front anyway. That was probably a better result than we would have gotten by aiming. 15 health left. Well, I see no reason to move before it does at this point.
They've got a lock on me.
Okay, whatever that is, it's a little bit faster. So if the Demolisher rolls forward a little bit, maybe we can get it to a place where I can shoot at it with the Grasshopper? I'd only have to get one lucky hit, really.
Barely hit, Commander.
Oh wait, the Grasshopper doesn't have a large laser. Oh no, it only is 50, yeah.
Standing by.
One lucky hit would do it. Looks like we are not going to be able to get that. Well, in that case, I think we sprint toward it.
On it.
That we are a threat to it next turn. Then this thing, which is probably also a Demolisher, rolls up but does not get line of sight on us. And I think we have a pretty good shot at taking out both of those tanks before they get to act next. You definitely do not want to go first, though. It's a little unfortunate to have her in the Jägermech. Or rather, it's probably good to have the Jägermech go really early in the turn. It's just in this situation where she doesn't have a target. It's a little awkward.
I'm showing minor damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, all that movement evasion is not very good against machine guns. Alright, so this guy's heat management skills are pretty poor. We have to be careful about jumping. Otherwise, I would do a jump here just for the extra evasion. Alright, they have a great big Jaeger mech. I probably just want to drop as much fire on this guy. I guess we probably only have to fire like 2 or 3 medium lasers at him, and we can put the rest onto him. I'm going to ignore the Locust for the moment. Let's multi-target. Mostly I'm shooting at you, but also we want to put a little bit of damage on you. Any one of these hitting the front is a kill. That should be enough to get it.
Aye, aye.
We're just stacking up damage on this guy, seeing if we can't weaken something. You got a couple of hits to the arms, that's not bad.
Move her down.
Mover down. I mean, I guess all of our opposing targets are movers. You got them there. That sucks. I can't quite get vision of the vehicle. Well, we could resolve this maybe by just falling back away from the vehicle. Then it's not going to come over the hill and just grab us.
On my way.
And with this thing being a Jaeger mech, I'm not super concerned about keeping it in one piece. I don't really care. So I think we'll just go hard center. Okay, there you go.
Mechs destroyed.
This Thunderbolt design is not a joke. This is a very, very good mech.
I'm here.
And then we
Yes,
do
ma'am.
have the ability to sensor lock something. I could run up here. I think that's probably dangerous in case that is a demolisher. They don't really care about shooting at the Locust. I'm going to back up a little bit. So this fired an LRM-10 at us during the last round. It could be a Manticore. No, Manticores are 80 ton, right? What's the name of that vehicle that has, it's like one SRM pod, one LRM pod? A Striker, maybe? Could be a Striker? I don't know. I'm way more worried about this thing.
Got a lock.
Okay, it is another Demolisher. I do
Ready
not
for
think
order.
there's any danger of it getting a shot on us. And then, I mean, I guess we may as well fire the autocannon at this guy. Maybe we'll get lucky. Autocannon does enough damage that it would take an arm off if I hit an arm. Yeah. We'll do that, and also we'll give you the autocannon. Probably won't hit, and if it does hit, it probably won't really do anything, but
Multiple enemies.
there's no reason not to throw the shot out there, right? Yeah, okay. It's a start. Well, I gotta say, this is looking like it's not going to be very difficult. Oh, that's annoying. It managed to move just
Commander?
barely into a position where we don't have vision of it. Alright, I don't think the Locust is strong enough to be a threat to the rear armor of any of these
They're
mechs.
getting the angle on me.
Yeah, he didn't get through. Wasn't even particularly close.
Receiving you.
Alright, let's get this shot. Well, you can't get the shot from anywhere where you have cover, really? And you can't get anywhere close.
Commander?
Yeah, alright, I guess I'm taking that. That feels bad. Could jump up to here. I probably won't get to fire everything in that case, but I don't want to leave this thing in the open, because we don't exactly know what this is, and alright. Probably don't want to bother with a precision strike with this pilot, who is not good at taking advantage of precision strike. Okay, that should allow us to get that thing down pretty
I'm
cleanly.
receiving you.
I would love to shoot from right here. What I want is to be in the back arc of the Locust while simultaneously being in the left arc of this vehicle. Boy, it is really hard to get the left arc of that vehicle. Here we go. That's the shot I want.
Coordinates received.
Oh, no, wait. Rocket doesn't even have... I'm so used to people having multi-target driving the Cyclops. Okay, well, it turns out that the left or the back arc of the Locust doesn't matter.
Roger that. Target confirmed.
But this needed to get done. Didn't even get through that left arc part.
One more for the rubbish bin. Commander.
Alright, do you... Yeah, it only has one evasion pip. You just drop this thing real fast. And I probably don't need to be cautious about ammo. Looks like this mission's very close to over. Go ahead and fire the missiles in case the AC-20 misses. 25% chance to miss is still, you know, it's relatively high. Alright, and then we don't have vision of that guy somehow. Well, I'm going to reserve until after he takes his turn. Maybe he will roll up close enough for us to get vision.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
Nope, somehow did not happen.
Standing by. Moving to position.
Okay, so they still have something. Alright, they have a vehicle that's way over there for some reason. That's probably a Manticore,
Good to go.
judging from the fact that it has one PPC.
Standing by.
You cannot get close enough to stomp the thing. Well, I can stay well out of visual radius of that, and this is the only other enemy left. So if we kill this thing before its turn, I don't have to worry about being seen. Oh, Manticores are not 80. I thought... Huh, okay. We don't get to fire almost anything here.
Attacking from position.
Some solid machine gun fire.
What's up, boss?
Some of that even kind of went near the enemy.
Going full speed. Yes, Commander.
Alright, are we in... We're in the appropriate arc, right? Most of that went to the left side. Is there any way I get a shot on this thing this turn? I could just do a sensor lock now and split my weapons, fire off the Jägermech a little bit. That's probably the way to do this.
10-4. Sensors locked on.
Okay, another Manticore. Well... The Jägermech is tough enough to stand up to some fire here. Let's split some shots off. So, what do I think it's going to take to kill this guy off? He has 11 left health. We're firing into that arc, and he doesn't have cover. And if it all goes to the front instead for no reason, it'll be 80 instead. That does suck. It's so tough to know what the right amount of damage is because of the weirdness with the vehicle aim areas. This is overkill, but we need to make sure it gets done.
Roger.
Yep, and I'm glad I did that. It died on almost the last missile. Because, again, we did not hit any of the, almost any of the shots into the area that should have been the area that took almost all of them. Very weird. Okay, so we can just expose this guy. It probably doesn't matter too much.
Ready for orders.
Let's, be a little bit cautious. Really, nobody else can see him except for the magical Jägermech. Well...
Move order received.
We at least have a sensor lock available.
I've got a sensor lock.
Receiving you. No shooting, just running. Got it.
Standing by.
Alright, I would love to take a direct shot so that we get the PPC worked in here. And this thing's not nearly as dangerous as a Demolisher. If we fail to kill it this turn, it won't be the end of the world. Like, I would like to hit the right armor. Because the right armor is the side that the Jaegermech's going to have the easiest time shooting into. Except, that there seems to maybe be an inversion on the hit chances or something. So maybe I want to aim front if I actually want to hit the side.
Fire an owl weapon.
Yep, that seems to be the way to do it.
Crawler destroyed.
Mission.
I wonder if the issue is just that, like, the thing internally that determines what arc you're firing into is rotated by 1 in the code or something. The weird thing. It was 30% extra pay for defeating a Jaegermech and a Locust. Free Worlds League people are weird. Alright, let's see. A plus 20 damage AC 20, a plus 5 damage AC 5. Those are both interesting. Probably going to take that AC 20 in case we lose the one we're using now. Yeah, this is not a bad piece of loot, actually. It probably would have been better to just take the money. Yeah, a 30% bonus on 225,000 extra bucks is pretty good. But we do need to have at least a couple of good AC-20s because, you know, we will lose them eventually. There's nothing we can do to keep them under control all of the time. I see that Pilpala is having a real green day. That's ominous down there. And we just roll right into the next thing. So what is the next smart thing here? 3.5 skull. These 4 skull battles are probably going to be pretty hard. I bet we're going to take damage during them. Let's go for the decapitation next. We've had confirmation from several sources that the leader of an insurgent cell backed by the local pirate organization is moving in the open. This is a rare opportunity to take out one of the primary enemies of the legitimate Merrick regime in Pilpala. Additionally, we'll include a bonus payment if you're able to destroy all of the target's escorting units. Yo, it sucks that we are constantly up against the pirates. But at this point, I think I've made my peace with we're not going to be able to be friends with the pirates. I'm going to take this as a full 314 because the mech that the target of the assassination is probably going to be a pretty good mech. And with that, do we want to take somebody other than Coyote? That I have a better chance of being able to take its head off? I think so. Let's bring Reckless. I would bring Hellebore except for his low spirits. Yeah, let's roll like this for this one so that we have a real good chance of being able to take home whatever the target mech is. You know, honestly, this is probably wrong, though. I should have, if I'm going to bring Reckless, I should have reshuffled the pilots a little bit. She is not an ideal pilot for the Grasshopper. Well, we'll figure it out. Grasshopper's a tough mech. It's been through an awful lot. Probably Reckless driving it once is not going to be enough to kill it. We've only got their word that this target is a terrorist, but that sort of extra legal maneuvering is why they're hiring us instead of using their own forces. Still, best to be alert for anything. Yep, of course it's going to be a little bit more complicated than they make it sound. That's how they get you to take the job. Something tells me we'll be alright here. It's just 3.5 skulls.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, these are the coordinates. Insurgent leader should be in the area. Yep, blow stuff up. Once he's down, head to the evac point, or just kill everybody, you know, whatever. So, I'm noticing that all of the mission markers are right on top of each other. There aren't enemy reinforcements, there's just going to be 8 mechs waiting for us over there. Alright, so we got to be a little bit more careful with our Grasshopper than we normally are because I'm a big idiot and we brought the wrong pilot. Or rather, we brought the right pilot in the wrong mech.
Order acknowledged.
Not nearly as tough as usual, so we want to make sure the Thunderbolt is taking the brunt of the enemy attack.
Keep your eyes peeled, Commander.
Grasshopper's going to be a little
This
bit more of a
looks like an
flanker
ideal
this time.
place for an ambush.
Also, don't have the heat management I would like to have, so that's another good reason not to roll it up in the middle of combat. Yeah, I was just clicking too fast, man. I gotta be more thoughtful
Commander.
here. Alright. Yeah, I guess just run forward. You're going to try to go around the side a little bit.
Bandits.
What do we have? A 60 and a 75. Okay. That's not the leader? It's 3.5 skulls. I guess there can be 75s?
my way.
Alright, so we'll try to keep the Thunderbolt, like, well between the enemies and everybody else. It's not great. And we're probably actually just going to sit right here. I'm going to reserve all the way down to 1, I think. Make them come to us a little bit. Because we're faster than they are, so if they move forward, we get to attack them, and then attack them again at the beginning of the next turn. And then they get to fire on us for the first time.
Tactical advantage.
But the bad news here, of course, is that they will have lots of evasion and guarded and whatnot. Okay, they are trying to execute a flanking maneuver on me. And we are, yeah, we're just going to have to fight 2 full lances at the same time. Not great. Well, the good news is this guy is exposed. Maybe shear off a little bit of the flanking force. It is, okay, a pretty dangerous model of Thunderbolt with cover and guarded, but no bulwark. 40% damage reduction, that's all. Well, I don't think we want to try to pull off any headshot nonsense, and if we did, it wouldn't be with this mech right now, so let's just do this. Alright, that got rid of all the evasion at least. The Thunderbolt can, for some reason, just barely get vision of this guy at this range. That doesn't really make sense. Yeah, I kind of think I want to do this and try to get a lucky AC 20 shot to the head of one of these mechs. So like make this make some space really fast here. So they have an Orion with an AC 10. That's definitely the target. Alright, we have an 18% chance of 75% chance to take this out right away. Fingers crossed. Nope. Missed completely. Awesome. Alright, did functionally no damage.
Standing by.
Sorry, we'll get one more of those before we have to engage in real combat with that thing. The quick draw doesn't have cover at all. It has guarded. But we could run the Cyclops up here and just have the Cyclops and the Jägermech work together to put the quick draw on the ground. Which would probably enable me to kill it pretty easily on the next turn. This thing has entrenched, so we're unlikely to get through its stability meter.
Roger.
I think let's try to do that. I'm a lot less worried about this Thunderbolt than I am about some of this other stuff we have to deal with.
Roger.
Thunderbolt has done a good job of being just barely not threatening enough to be like an oh my god we must kill that target, and also being annoying to fight with at the moment.
Moving to position.
So we did not make it too unsteady. I should have done this in the other order. The Jägermech does way more stability damage. This was an error.
Confirmed.
I'm just making mistakes all over the place here. Nope, it turns out doing it in the other order would not have made a difference. Well, now we can hit this thing one more time, and this will knock it over.
Firing a full salvo. Reporting. Critical hit.
And it's almost dead, so we'll probably be able to kill it. Alright, we're going to move the Thunderbolt up on the Orion and see if we can't just pull its head off. They have full vision of all of us, and we're kind of between cover right now, so I'm hoping that we're not going to suffer too much for this relatively boldish approach. Ooh, I do not like that. I'll just leave you out in the open. Alright, you can move forward far enough. Pretty good odds we get a kill on the quick draw here. That would push us up to, I think, only 58 resolve. But we have a comm system on somebody, don't we?
10-4.
I can't remember. The comm system affects all sources of gain, right?
targets down.
No, in fact, we didn't even get the full 10 resolve there. I was hoping we could get to 60, so that we'd have enough to do vigilance and the aim shot. But no such luck. I guess the Cyclops is just going to have to tank for a little bit.
Reporting minimal damage.
I'm glad we were able to get up into cover there. So, Shadowhawk is kind of a danger. This Thunderbolt is kind of a danger. And I'm going to jump forward. Well, I can only get to 2 points of evasion, huh? Not actually that much better. For all the extra heat generation that we're talking about there, probably it's better just to walk up, right? So we've got this guy in optimal weapons range. We can take another shot at his head. Okay, so that's a Griffin with the normal, not very good Griffin loadout. I'm fine with that. Alright, come on, fingers crossed.
Firing.
Ah, that would have made things so easy. Alright, what do I want to do with you? The Shadowhawk actually really doesn't have a lot of armor. Okay, I think what we want to do with the Grasshopper is charge that Shadowhawk. 2 points of evasion is apparently, though, enough to make me unable to hit him. I mean, the range is definitely playing a part in that. If we were to pursue this guy, which side do I want to hit him from? So almost all the weapons are on the left. We could go center and try to hope for an ammo explosion, so just like go hit him from the front. Yeah, alright. Be a real pain in the ass to get through here. But next turn we probably have a good punch coming up.
Engaging target.
Yeah, still 90 points of armor. Well, okay. I appreciate it sensor locking me instead of shooting at me. They have something that has... I didn't count those, obviously. That was either a 20 or two 15s, maybe? Could be a catapult. That, again, was a 20 or two 15s. Alright. That hurts, but next turn we'll be in cover.
Losing lots of armor. Standing by.
Alright, so what's the play here? Guy has his forest cover, but he's lost his guarded. Managed to turn such that we won't be able to hit him in the front. Yeah, we'll have to go through that side armor. So we have to decide whether we want to do that or not. Not that worried about the Griffin. We could try to just kill the Shadowhawk. It really doesn't have that much center torso health. But to keep a respectful distance and just core this thing right now. We have enough resolve here that we'll be able to take another precision strike after this anyway. So I'm not removing our ability to go after that headshot. Looks like I missed. That sucks.
I think I hit something good.
Yeah, the autocannon wouldn't have been enough to do the job by itself, but it would have been a good start. I do appreciate them splitting their fire over my mechs. I do not appreciate the way that everything seems to be hitting the left torso on that Cyclops. Alright, so let's get cover here. Can't get a clean shot from any angle. Oh no, that's unobstructed. There is in fact a catapult. There's also something at 90 tons over there. So that's the actual target. Man. 3.5 skulls, huh? So, we could try to strip some of the stuff off of this catapult. I still think the Orion's the greatest threat, though. I'm going to go for this headshot one more time. Maybe I should just do this. LRM-15, SRM-4, and one of the medium lasers. Yeah, you know what? We put enough damage through on this part of him that this is probably the right way to do this now. Hover and bulwark.
Roger that.
Man, I cannot get any cooperation out of this damn autocannon. The good news is this guy's got a bunch of pilot. He's got 2 points of pilot damage just from headshots on him now.
Commander?
So, if we really lay into him with the other stuff, we get a knockdown. Yeah, let's try Cyclopsing him for the knockdown. Maybe we can just damage the pilot out. He's a defender, so no, probably not actually. But what else am I going to shoot at? I guess probably then it makes the most sense to just shoot at this guy.
All weapons
Yeah,
removed.
that pilot almost certainly has like 5 health. Okay, we got there. Cool.
That's a kill.
I feel like that's a better play. And they are just openly fleeing. I'm not going to be able to shoot like at all here.
Engaging jump jet.
But we are going to pursue. So I get to fire into the back armor, which is cool. How many weapons do I get to shoot? Okay, that's not too bad. His back armor's not really that strong. And if we do manage to get through the center, which wouldn't take that many hits, those machine guns are very likely to trigger an ammo explosion. I wish I had enough resolve for a targeted shot there. Okay, well I hit a bunch of his weapons.
Damage detected.
Didn't get the ammo, or didn't get the SRM ammo. It looked like we stripped the last point of his back armor with like the very last shot.
They got a sensor lock on me.
Oh, and he ran into a position where the Grasshopper's still going to be able to shoot him in the back next turn. That's very good for us. Okay, the Jägermech cannot sustain a ton of fire, but it can definitely eat stuff for a turn. Draw a little bit of pain away from everybody else. Alright, whatever that thing is, it's got some missile bays on it.
Damage minimal.
And a melee attack from the Orion. It's a little scary. That is the arm with the autocannon on it. I would prefer that you not do that.
Commander?
Well, the good news is that we're likely to be able to take a back armor shot on this guy now. And you all know what happens when we AC-20 someone in the back. Can I get to a position where I can shoot missiles into the back arc of that Thunderbolt? I cannot. Oh no, I can. Right here. Well, I think that's what we're doing then.
Move into position.
That would seem to be the smart play. Oof. Don't like those odds. I'm not going to spend resolve for it, though.
Acknowledged.
If we get this kill, we'll have enough resolve for 2 aim shots, which would be pretty useful. Man, almost no hits to the center.
Critical hit, Commander.
Very close to removing the rest of his torso, though. Griffin is not exactly terrifying, and then after this goes down, it's all the rest of my mechs. Wow! Took that arm clean off, huh? And it had all of the missile bays on it. Of course it did. Okay, well, that is really crappy and not super likely to have happened. Boy, yeah, that sucks. What is this? This is a Cyclops. Not the same kind of Cyclops we have. Weird. It's a weird thing. Alright, I'm definitely taking this shot. We are firing everything we can fire. He only has 68 health here. God, I wish I was a little bit closer. Well, apparently this is all I get to shoot.
Targeting rear armor.
Okay, good enough. The shots went everywhere except the center torso, but it was so much damage that even with them all hitting the side torso parts instead, it was still lethal. Ooh, can I get this without turning my back to everybody? I guess I could just jump over him. Trying to figure out how do I want to do this so that the catapult's not too likely to be able to back shot me. This is okay, I guess.
Acknowledged.
We may well have to do a little bit of heat management here. So I've done no torso damage at all. Structure is entirely intact. I really think I just want to go through the center. Him not getting the benefit from his defenses. This is going to be a huge amount of damage, provided things hit where they're supposed to hit. Yeah, okay. Good enough for me.
Hostile eliminated. Waiting for orders.
Unfortunately, there's still a lot of fight left. The Griffin, the catapult... Like, what is next? The catapults got Bulwark. Griffin's pretty killable. Obviously, that Cyclops is a serious problem, but we probably want to fight that Cyclops with... Well, I guess it's just standing in the open, isn't it? I could just run forward and go right at it. We're not... I was going to say we're not likely to get a kill here, but we can pursue a... we can pursue a knockdown, but no, we can't. We lost all of our missile bays to weird, lucky fire from 2 enemy mechs. So, could just try to take down the Griffin real fast. That might be the right play.
Move order received.
I don't get to fire everything this turn. Yeah, maybe I should have gone for a punch, actually. Given the status of our heat. Can I turn off? No. If I keep the PPC on, I only get to fire 1 missile bay.
Roger. Damn it! I'm wounded.
Yeah, man, they really, really figured out where that Jägermech was. Like, the first vision they had of the Jägermech was a sensor lock. Like, they just knew exactly where they wanted to go.
Major armor loss.
So we do have a comm system in the head. I would hate to have to disengage and lose it. Or, not, you know what I mean. I'd hate to have to eject and lose it. We can just make them lose vision, though. What I'm thinking here is if I back up and then I use my resolve for the turn on a precision strike, we push this guy down to 2 initiative, and then if we manage to kill him before the end of initiative 3, then they can't shoot at the Jägermech anymore, and we get to keep our cockpit. But honestly, this is too dangerous. Yeah, it sucks to lose that really nice LRM-15 bay. Yeah, we just have to eject. That's a shame, but
I'm punching out.
it is not safe to do anything else.
Warning. Enemy in rear arc.
Wow.
Warning. Armor breached.
Hit with
Internal damage.
pretty much everything there, despite being at point blank range while firing an LRM and a PPC. Oh wait, it's actually going to let me move around before throwing my punch. Yeah, we should definitely do this. I need a turn to bleed off heat here.
Engaging physical attack.
Alright, the arm is not where you want that to go, but... In fact, there's nothing on the left side of this mech at all.
Yes, Commander.
Pretty much just getting the unsteady thing there. Alright, here... This is what I want to use my precision strike on, right? Because we can gut this catapult easily.
Affirmative.
This Thunderbolt is just... this build of Thunderbolt is just incredibly powerful.
Target neutralized.
Okay.
I'm receiving you.
Cyclops wants to... Hit the Griffin in the back, right? Is that the back? Yeah, that's the back. Be a little bit careful about revealing myself, moving out of cover here. But we can't not go for the back shot, right? I guess we're going to knock it over when we hit it, so I won't be able to continue firing into the back anyway. Yeah, maybe I do just want to fire from right here. But I turn off... Nope. It's either the PPC or both of the missile launchers.
Target.
Alright, so that knocks him down to 2 initiative for next turn. Which means that we all go before he does, so he's dead. It's very unlikely he survives. Then it'll just be us against the Cyclops. Provided we don't take any major losses here on this turn. I gotta say, the design of the Cyclops head is super cool. I really like that. Okay,
Good to go.
let's start with you. So I can get you to a position where you have a shot. It's not a very good shot. Can I get closer? No, I cannot get closer. I can never get closer by jumping. We only have 2 jump jets on this thing. I have enough resolve to do 2 abilities this turn. You no longer have direct fire on this guy, but it's probably okay not to go for direct fire, so... We really just want to go center, right? I don't want to screw around here. I want to just put as much damage dead center as I can. Let's see if we can get anywhere near killing this thing with the people who are not the Thunderbolt, which would enable the Thunderbolt to try and get lucky with a headshot. So your heat is in a much better place here. I'd love to get a point of evasion if I can, but I certainly can't jump for it. Yeah, that'll do. $120 health to get through. I can turn everything back on here. This is a lot of damage.
All weapons committed.
Scratch another target.
Okay.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Alright, just
Waiting
you and
for
me,
orders.
Cyclops, and I feel pretty good about this. You're just moving to close range. Oh, I should have angled my left arm away from him. We're going to need to coolant vent. And then we just go for that headshot. 17% chance to end it right now. Well, more like 15.
Giving him everything I've got.
Target damage. Concentrate fire. Bring it down.
Alright, that's not a bad start. Just about punched through that side. He moves to a position where nobody has vision of anybody. We're at 85 resolve, so we can go hard on trying to get that side part down.
Orders.
Can I get vision with the Cyclops? No, I cannot. Well,
Standing by.
yeah, let's just do this. So he's facing the same direction. I'll be firing into the same side here. Got Bulwark up now, along with Guarded. I'd like to take this mech home, since it's a different build of Cyclops than the one we're using now, which is a CP-10Z. This does count as a unique chassis, which means that if we want to complete the assault class, we do have to get this.
Firing full complement on.
So we're going to keep going for the headhunt.
Target's taking a critical hit.
Looking like it's not super likely to work out for us, though. That's 1 point of pilot damage. I don't want to face my left torso away from him. So we can just go for headshots here, just trying to do pilot damage rather than take the head clean off. I think that's probably the right move. We want to do as much damage to this pilot as possible. Oh, we didn't. Okay, we did get one. We did get one. That's 2 points of damage on the pilot. The pilot is marked as an insurgent leader, which is not an actual combination of skills. That's unfortunate for us.
Move order.
I have no idea how much health he has.
Taking the shot.
Try to build up some unstableness here. Didn't manage to get him unsteady.
Damage minimal.
Alright, so 60 is just enough to go for 2 headshots again. Certainly took a single point of structural damage here. We don't actually need to repair the grasshopper, probably. I have to turn off a weapon, unfortunately. 2 points of pilot damage right now. I didn't get a headshot there. Alright, we can try to take a leg out from under him. If I just go front, if I go for the headshot here from the frontal arc and I don't get it, we're going to get him pretty close to actually dying. In fact, it could kill him straight up. Because we're probably going to pierce the center torso, and there's a chance of blowing up the ammo bay. I really want to turn my left arm away from him, so we do want to hit him from this side. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for it. Not very likely to work. I think we're going to end up killing this thing. Don't we go for the leg instead? He's got a lot of ammo in it, or a lot of armor on it yet. Yeah, it's like a 200 health leg. Jesus Christ. So we're not, we're not going to get through the leg. He has 40% damage reduction. No, we have to go for the head. And if we don't get the head, then we have to just take out the center.
Affirmative.
Okay. We got the head.
Hostile removed.
Alright, well I do believe we get to take home all 3 pieces of that now, so that's good. Took a little bit more damage than I would like there. I was not expecting the Jaeger mech to get targeted quite so cleanly. Like, when they sensor locked it, they very clearly already knew what it was. Or at least knew that it was the weakest thing. Yeah, it sucks. We lost some good gear there. We did, however, get a whole new mech out of it. I'm not sure that I'll use this thing necessarily. That's not a bad AC-10. Plus crit on weapons that do a ton of damage is pretty nice. Oh, there's a comm system here as well. I don't think we can not take the whole Cyclops, but I'm hoping to get lucky on some of this other stuff. We do get 11 more items. Okay, we got a good SRM-4 bay. That's really it. Yeah, okay. Not a terrible haul, really. A whole new assault mech is a good thing to pull. I think that's an assault mech. 90 tons? Is that assault? I don't know how many heavies and assaults there are, but it feels like we've got to be, making some pretty good progress on class completion on those. And each completed class is worth like an extra 10,000 points. It's a lot of score.
That mech you wanted is back online.
Alright, lacking the close-in weapons and command suite of the 10Z variant, instead capitalizes on a longer range weapon configuration and a whole lot of armor. Yeah, that's an okay mech. We probably will actually run that once I get it outfitted. So not sure I want to spend a whole day repairing a single point of damage. And how bad was the damage to the arm here? 7? Alright, this is something I gotta figure out. You know what? I can do that off camera. I think we probably are not gonna run another mission here. So I'll figure out what I want to do with our mechs before next episode. We have 3 more jobs left? Just the 2 battles left on this system. And then it's off, probably in the direction of another Flashpoint. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we probably engage in some battles that are going to cost us some more valuable gear. And we'll see you then.